Frasier. I mean, have you seen Frasier before?
I have, yeah. It's funny because some of these you told me the list that we're going to talk about here, and some of them I haven't watched for ages, but some of them it doesn't matter because I they're so clear in my mind, you know. Um,
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I chose these. Like, some people might not be familiar with the show, but they're probably familiar with the theme song to the show in some way or form.
right, yeah, yeah. I think
Like,
for me, one of the things you and I talked about was how these, they're not just. I mean, they're meant to be just like a little intro so they can run the credits or whatever, but it becomes part of the experience of watching the show. If you ever watch one of these shows and just skip the theme song at the beginning, it feels
yeah, it
incomplete.
feels a little bit wrong sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, if you're doing like a binge watch, let's say you're spending all day and you're watching like 40 episodes, I find like if I start getting to like the 15th episode, then I might skip the intro, especially if it's a long intro. But I'm just watching one casually. I won't skip that intro now. It's part of the show. It's part of its ethos.
Right. Yeah. So
But
you
yeah,
chose. Why did you choose
sorry,
this show?
Frasier. I chose this for a couple of reasons. A, I just I love jazz, and it's a
Mhm.
very jazzy kind of theme. And I love Kelsey Grammer in it. And the idea of like Kelsey's Grammer character and this theme actually goes very well together. Because I didn't know this until recently. He sings the song. I knew about that, the tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
And the writer of the show and who did the song, worked with the song on it, didn't want it to be too on the nose. Like, I'm a psychotherapist. This is my job. I'm smart. I'm suave.
Hmm.
So originally it was going to be like, I think the original lyrics like, we've got some crazy nuts here. And I thought, no, that's just too simplistic. It wouldn't be indicative of Frasier's character. So they changed it to scrambled eggs and tossed salad, like the scrambled brains in your head and the tossed salad, your minds and your emotions everywhere. They're calling again as the callers are calling in. So this is in reference to the people having troubles who's calling in Frasier on his show, the Frasier Collins show. That's part of the series.
Right. Yeah. I thought that
So yeah,
I to be honest, I didn't catch any of that. I know what you're talking about now because I did some research and I wrote the blog post about TV in theme music, and I was like, I just thought it was a cool jazzy song. I honestly never thought about it. It was more about the feel for me. I'm terrible as a musician, though. I don't listen to lyrics, so
you're a more music-based person over lyric-based.
totally. If you ask me what drum fills happen in that song, or you know what I mean, like if you ask me a bass part in a song, I'll say, oh yeah, it goes doom 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 doom. But if you ask me what the first phrase is that they say, I probably wouldn't know. So
Yeah, like a baby, I hear the blues are calling, and again, the blues is like sad feelings. That's why people are calling in.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
a lot of this I didn't actually know until recently myself as well, and then I was like, wow, this makes so much sense.
I'd love to know how they made the decision for Kelsey Grammer to sing the song himself.
They didn't, as far as I know. Kelsey Grammer said, "This is what's going to happen. I
Oh,
am going to do this."
oh okay.
Because Kelsey Grammer, when he was younger, was part of, I think it was part of a band, actually. I think it might have even been a jazz band.
Okay.
He's always admitted that he's liked singing, he's loved jazz music. So I think he actually approached them saying, I want to sing this.
Right. Okay. I think it's an interesting choice, especially one to start with. I noticed that in your notes it was the first one you put, which I I think that in itself says something to me about how this song spoke to you.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. And the show itself, I just love the Frasier show. It's just so well written. Not
All right, let's look at the Simpsons.
da, 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 da. You hear those four chord progression, and everybody knows what it is.
Yep, yep. And I mean, musically speaking, actually, there's some really interesting stuff. I won't get into the theory of it, but there's some really cool the intervals that he uses there. This is by Danny Elfman, is it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman, he uses some really cool, obscure intervals in there that really for the theme of a song, for the theme song of a show, the fact that they said, "Yeah, let's do that," is so cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because yeah, I think like it starts off with like an off note or something weird like that. It's so
He does
strange.
like an augmented fourth in there, which is nobody uses it. It used to be like hundreds of years ago, it was referred to as the devil's interval, you know, because it's really odd. So it was considered to be completely unmusical.
Yeah, but yeah, The Simpsons. I mean, this is just completely iconic. This is like defines a whole generation of people, myself included. Like my dad was always busy with work, and I was at school at the same time, so we didn't have a lot of time to spend together. But Sunday from 6 until 7, we would sit down, eat, and watch The Simpsons together. That was our thing.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean, for me, I knew about Danny Elfman because of Oingo Boingo, and yes, as you can
Yeah.
see, I'm that old. So, but there was a movie, Weird Science, and the
Oh yeah,
only
weird science.
exactly, which was Oingo Boingo, which is Danny Elfman. You know, once before he went solo and started writing just in his own on his own name, it was Oingo
Yeah,
Boingo that did that.
because I think the first movie score he did after Oingo Boingo was that the Batman theme? I think it was the Batman score he did.
Was that
89.
was that before Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah, because Edward Scissorhands was 91.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, I mean, so it's he jumped from being in not a hugely successful band that was signed. I mean, they had a major label signing, but
Yeah.
they weren't hugely successful. They did one song for a movie, which I don't know. I mean, maybe you could tell me how well Weird Science did, but I don't remember it
Weird
being
Science
huge.
did pretty well. And I made a mistake. I don't think his first individual theme was the Batman. That was his first major, but I think the first one he did was oh, why can't I remember the name of the movie now? Pee Wee Herman's Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
That was a pretty big hit considering how strange that movie was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I mean, I love Pee Wee. I mean,
Has
I'm not
anyone
doing
left any
that later on
messages for
in
me?
life,
Not
but
that I know of, Mr. Herman. I love that. All right, so this guy, he's gone on to become one of the big names, right? Like, um, after that, what are the big movies that he's done? I don't know if you know.
oh well, I mean, basically you just follow the director Tim Burton, and you're going to find Danny Elfman's stuff. Really,
Fair. Him and the three of them. If you add Johnny Depp to the mix,
yeah, it was
I
the trio.
I love
You
what you
follow their
said.
careers, you're going to find out what they did.
I didn't know this. I read this from your notes. I'm reading it as I say it. The theme was inspired after Frank Zappa and listening to the offbeat arrangement of the song. Um, you did you know that because you listened to it, or did you look that up and find that?
Well, I knew this before we decided to talk about this, but I didn't know about that from listening to the music.
Hmm.
I found it something online years ago about it, but you hear Frank Zappa and then you hear The Simpsons, and it kind of like, why did I come to that conclusion earlier? It
Yeah,
totally makes sense.
yeah. That just that. When I didn't know that, but when I read your note here, I went, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Frank Zappa and like this theme. And the other thing about The Simpsons is, and I think this is just my personal opinion. I don't think this was maybe intended by him. Is that it feels like the different parts of the song goes with the different main characters of the song. So you have like the tuba boom 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 boom. I think that's meant to be Homer. It's kind of like
Hmm.
loving oafish kind of feel to it. And then
Right.
you have the that's Bart going crazy, being very mischievous. Then you
Hmm.
have like the saxophone part of Lisa, obviously her love of blues and being like the science mind. And then everything fills in. It's kind of like Marge because she's having to control the whole family.
Right. That '70s show, what I think is a super cool sort of like pop rock song.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah.
The Big Star song, yeah, is so good. It just encapsulates the whole feeling of the show. It's like the young, they don't have much to do in the town, so they're going to cause a bunch of mischief. It's like the hopes, the aspirations. You're going to go out and try and steal some beers or do some stuff that
Mhm.
technically they shouldn't be doing. And just this song completely encapsulates the whole feeling, I think, of anybody at this age are going through, especially if they live in like a smaller town. And that's why I think it's like a timeless theme song. Somebody in the future, 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, living in a small town with their friends with nothing to do, will watch this show and understand what the show is just by listening to the song.
Well, I mean, in the '70s, I was born in the '70s, but I have no specific memories. Like, I was born in the '70s. I wasn't a teenager in the '70s, which means that I'm more of a child of the '80s. But this song, and the way that it fits with this show makes perfect sense to me. And somebody, I mean, my kids who are children of the 2000s or 2010s, they get it, you know. So I think
Yeah,
what you said, as much as technology and times have changed and all these things, we can still watch that and go, "Oh, I get that." You
I
know.
can understand that. 'Cause like you were born in the 70s, I was born in the 80s, so therefore I was a child of the 90s. But I can still makes me what me and my friends used to do when we were teenagers in that decade. It totally makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
the funny thing about this, if you watch season one and then watch season two, you're going to notice a slight difference. Because season one, they used the original version of it by Big Star.
Hmm.
Now, seasons two onwards, they decided to use the covered version by Cheap Trick.
Ah, Cheap Trick. I was thinking it was Aerosmith for some reason, but now that you say it, yep, you're right.
And here's another thing for music lovers as well. Every episode is named after a song from a different band, and each season is after a different band. So something like I think like season four, season five, all the name of the episodes are based after Led Zeppelin songs.
Oh, I wouldn't have known that.
So it's a fun little game. Like if you bring up the episode list, you can try and look at the song and say, okay, what band are they talking about this season? I think like one's meant to be based on the Beatles, one's based from the Stones, but it's really interesting to look at the names of the actual episodes.
That's funny because I mean, this isn't a show I followed by any sense. I haven't watched a lot of TV for years now. So if I've seen episodes, it was like online, and I just sort of clicked in, and I wasn't really paying close attention. Not the way that you'd normally watch television, you know. So I
Yeah, but
didn't. I didn't know that.
when it came out in your age, I can kind of see why. Because for me, when it came out, I was just leaving my teens
Hmm.
about that time.
Yeah.
So I think, and I just moved to America at university, and so I was looking at American TV for the first time.
Hmm.
What's going on? So for my age and the people I live with, my roommates, my friends, we were doing a lot of what they were doing in the show. It's kind of a lot of parallel. So I think that's probably why I have some really soft spot in my heart for this show as well.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Da 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 dun. Da 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 dun. It's like Vic
Like,
Vic Mizzy wrote this, the Addams
yeah,
Family theme.
yeah.
This is before your time. It's before my
Oh yeah,
time.
definitely. Look, I'm gonna have things here that's definitely before my time. Like I'm a big sucker for like the old 1930s horror movies, like the Universal horror movies. So
Okay.
I don't look at movies and TV shows in terms of my age. It's like whatever's good is good.
Yep. And how? Why did you choose this? Is it? I don't know. Why did you choose this?
Well, one thing is, I was younger. I think it'd come on around about 4 o'clock, just when I get home from school.
Hmm.
So I'd watch it when I got home. And I've been recently rewatching The Monsters,
Yeah, you mentioned that in
the
here. Yeah.
rival one at the time.
Yeah.
I love the theme song to The Monsters as well, but the
Hmm.
dun 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 dun, dun, it's like a surface tune.
Yeah.
But Addams Family is just, you don't even need the song, you just need,
Yep.
and people probably know what it is you're doing.
Yep. If you said which song, not even which TV theme, which song does, done. You know what it is right away.
Think about it. You got the first installment of the show, then you got the second installment of the show, then you had the movies. They still use the
And
part
they
at the
still use the
beginning
same
of it.
theme, which I don't know what else Vic Mizzy wrote, but man, this is like it's just carried through somebody made a decision at one point. You can't have the Addams Family without that theme.
Yeah, totally. I totally 100% agree with that.
That's
But for me, it was hard to choose which one should I do, Addams Family or The Monsters, because I love them both. But I think musically speaking, it has to be Addams Family.
And I agree. The Munsters, to me, I used to play Peter Gunn back in the day. Dung, 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 dung,
Oh
dung,
yeah,
dung, dung, dung. And it's very much that same surfer kind of music style, which probably they borrowed because that was the popular thing at the time, the Surfaris and things like
yeah.
that.
I think it was meant to be. I think when they produced it, they were trying to find something to follow the Beach Boys.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Which, I mean, they were the ones who took what people were doing surf-wise before that and made it huge pop music, and genius as well.
Exactly. People always ask me, so what's the difference between the two? Because even my dad the other day, I was talking about it, and he thought that I was talking about the Addams Family and not the Munsters. And the way I divide the two shows is this. The Addams Family are humans who act like monsters. Well, the Munsters are monsters trying to be like humans.
Wow, that's interesting. It's kind of like the difference between Spock and Data. Because Spock was half human and he was trying to deny that, and Data was not human at all, but he was trying to be more human. The Flintstones.
Yabba Dabba Doo.
Classic.
Apparently with the whole Yabba Dabba Doo line,
Mm-hmm.
ad-libbed. It wasn't meant to be in the song.
Really? He just threw it in and it worked.
He just threw it in, and then it became basically the cornerstone of the cartoon itself.
Absolutely, and all the variations they did on that. But I don't know I'm checking if you mentioned that what we know as the Flintstones theme is not the original.
Really?
So the Flintstones theme, the first one was called Rise and Shine, which goes down da 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 da, which sounds exactly like the Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes theme. This is it, and it was also in a style that was close to "I've Got Rhythm, I Got Rhythm," but really it sounded too much like the Looney Tunes. So that was only season 1. And then after that, they changed it to the Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones is the name of the song.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I had no idea that was the case. Because I've always just thought it was the Flintstones song.
Yeah, which I just thought that was a cool little connection.
The Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's time to start the music. It's time to. Come on, no one can not watch that and not feel happy. A 1-year-old baby to a 90-year-old person can listen to that song and just be happy.
Yep, you just feel it, and you mentioned Mana Mana, which I think is hilarious too.
Yeah, the Mana Mana was taken from a movie that was made before the Muppets that happened to be an X-rated movie.
I know. When I first read that, I read that some time ago because I did an episode on my YouTube channel about theme music and songwriters, composers, and when I found that, I was like, "What?" But the 007 theme was based on a song about a guy with an unfortunate sneeze. So I'll let you look into that one, but it's hilarious, the story behind that music.
Culturally, I have to talk about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
Now, this is a story all about how look, anybody who grew up in the 90s knows that song. Like, at my high school, we would sing that song verbatim. Everybody would know it, and it became like a national anthem. But this is a great example of how a TV show can use a theme for just putting exposition. Mm-hmm. This is who the character was. This is what's happening. This is why he had to move. This is his life now. It explains the entire idea of the exposition of the show through that song.
I think what you just said is spot on, because for me, at the time, I got it. Like, they didn't have to explain why is this kid who doesn't seem to fit in this family living there. They just had to sing that song, and it's quite long. It tells the whole story, and you're going to live with your aunt and uncle in Bel-Air. Boom. And then you start the show. Everything else
Especially if you
makes
watch the
sense.
very first episode, which has the full song, which is like 3.5 minutes long.
It's
It gets
amazing.
even more northern exposure.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was an
Um,
interesting choice, so I'm curious why you picked that.
One thing is, I just love the musical, the whole world beats behind the song. Second thing is, last year my mother passed away, and this was the my and her show. We watched this together, and where she lived in Washington when she moved back there, some of the shooting, where it's meant to be in Alaska, was actually in Washington. So you could actually
Oh.
go and see some of the set there, which was pretty cool. But that has a very personal, emotional tie to me. But just musically speaking, it's wonderful. People should go. It's kind of like watching a Woody Allen movie, but in a TV show.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to go back and watch this show again because I remember watching it whenever it was out at the time, and I admit to you, didn't feel a big connection to it. I thought it was kind of cool, but I didn't really feel connected to it. But that was what, early 90s maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for
So
me, I think this is one that I might be able to go back and watch it and go, "Huh, okay. 18-year-old me
I
didn't get
definitely
that."
feel that way. I think for a lot of younger viewers, they might not have enjoyed it when it first came out, but now a few years have passed. If they go back, I think it's something they can understand better and appreciate more.
Yeah, I think that's
All right.
cool. I will definitely go back.
The last
Honorable
one.
mention. Yep.
The last one. Cheers.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. And
I
why?
mean, you listen to this song, and it makes you want to have a place that you belong to.
Hmm. Yep.
It makes you want to have a place like they have with Cheers. You know, you
Hmm.
got Sam, Diane, you got the coach, you got Frasier. Speaking of Frasier again,
Yep.
you
Yep.
got Norm. I listen to that, and it makes me want to have a place of belonging. Like I want a place where I can go to. They know me. I could just sit down, have fun, have a little talk. It doesn't have to be a bar, but anywhere. It gives you an idea of a place that will make you happy and safe.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I remember back then I used to go to a coffee shop. So in Ontario, where I'm from, we go to a donut shop and we drink coffee and we read the newspaper and talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs and complain about them. And it was our cheers. It had nothing to do with beer and alcohol and blah, blah, blah. When it first came out, I was probably too young to drink alcohol anyway. But and definitely we made that connection. In fact, we decided that with my friend group, we all gave each other the character that we thought best fit us.
Like which it's like for those online questions, like which member of Cheers are you?
Yeah,
You're
exactly. It was
not.
very much that before we had online. But so I think this is a great list, and obviously you and I could go on and talk for easily another hour about. I mean,
Yeah,
you
we
have.
already skipped like 8 or 9 ones on here.
Yeah, and I had originally planned to add one or two on there that I love as well. Not that I don't love these, but ones that I noticed weren't on your list. But I think this is a great starter for people, and I think if people are curious, please let us know in the comments on wherever you're watching this, whether it's WeChat or YouTube or whatever it might be, and let us know what you think. Which theme songs did we miss out that we shouldn't have missed, and which ones do
Yeah,
you
well,
especially
which one
love?
we didn't get to anyway, because it could
Yeah,
be on the list.